When Lionel Messi and Argentina were kicked out of the World Cup in the round of 16 by France, the world's media had a whole lot to say on the subject. Some were disparaging, some were funny, and some were sympathetic, but take a look at the top 20 reactions to Messi's World Cup 2018 exit. Number 1. Will he stay or will he go? It obviously all started with the usual hand-wringing. Can Messi be considered the greatest of all time if he hasn't won a World Cup? The answer, of course, is probably. Number 2. He's in good company. The New York Times swiftly reminded everyone that regardless of if you think of Messi as the greatest of all time or simply one of the greats, he joins a long list of towering legends of the game who didn't win a World Cup, like Cruyff, Puskás, Platini, and Eusebio. Number 3. He should probably call it. Of course, after Messi briefly retired from international football following the 2014 final defeat, plenty expect this underwhelming performance to have been his last in a blue and white striped shirt. He'll be 35 next time around. Number 4. Though he could completely continue. One Twitter user highlighted how, despite all of the talk of this being Messi and Ronaldo's last World Cup, it's entirely possible for both of them to make another appearance if they wanted to. The question is if Messi would want to. Number 5. Would he want to keep going? It would be easy to understand the incentive to retire, given how frustrating it may have been to be expected to work miracles with an underperforming squad. Messi wasn't remotely helped by his teammates in any meaningful way, though the reason Dybala didn't play was that he and Messi struggled to play well together. It would have been worth a try though, surely. Number 6. Argentina needed divine intervention. Speaking of miracles, the front cover of an Argentinian paper, La Voz del Interior, addressed the huge task Messi had been expected to perform for the national side, with its front cover the day after their elimination. There wasn't a miracle, read its headline. Number 7. Argentina needed a miracle and a decent coach. Much of the responsibility for Argentina's unsatisfactorily early exit has to lie with the manager, Jorge Sampaoli, who never seemed to have control of the dressing room or the trust of the players. It seemed to be left to Messi and Mascherano. One of the immediate reactions was to presume he'd soon be on his way out once the dust had settled. Number 8. They also could have used some decent tactics. The tactics Argentina played with often seem nonsensical, in theory putting their best player in the thick of the action where he can make the most impact, but in most of Argentina's games, the rest of the players weren't set up to, and subsequently struggled, to find him. Number 9. A calamitously chaotic cup. An Argentinian paper, Diario de Cuyo, touched on the chaos of Argentina's style and play with its full-page cover, headlined with the words, "Chaos takes its toll." With such a top-heavy team, it was always going to be tough to find balance, but they didn't really even seem to try. Number 10. The end of an era. Another Argentinian paper, Crónica, highlighted Messi and Mascherano as two players unlikely to be seen for the national squad again, as Mascherano has already announced his retirement, and Messi's presumed disillusion with the side would mean the end of an era, as the headline read. Number 11. The people took it hard. Argentinians took the elimination pretty tough, but it wasn't limited strictly to South America. Apparently a couple in Russia filed for divorce after getting in an argument over who was the better GOAT, Messi or Ronaldo. Number 12. Taking football too seriously. It was reported that one Messi superfan even took his own life after watching the Argentina side get knocked out. And according to the report, he's not the first one in India to react to Argentina's tournament performances this way. Number 13. Messi's contemporaries have their say. Messi's fellow competitors were full of praise for the little magician though, including one of the members of the team which helped knock his Argentina out, Paul Pogba. Of course, it's easy to praise your opponent when you've won, and when your opponent is one of the greatest of all time, and an idol. Number 14. Beaten by a Ronaldo fanboy. Speaking of idols, it wasn't lost on people that the player who plunged the dagger into Argentina with 2 goals and winning a penalty was a member of the new generation, one who grew up a Ronaldo fanboy. That's gotta hurt. Number 15. Has Messi's crown already been stolen? Mbappe had been tipped as a player who could become Messi or Ronaldo's level, but with his performance against Argentina, the football media wasted no time in crowning him as the prince of the sport. Number 16. Messi versus Maradona. One of the most unhelpful presences at the tournament was one of Argentina's own, another idol to many, Diego Maradona. He watched each of their games in Russia from the stands, and his antics up there often made as many headlines as the match results. He was just as helpful in his post-tournament comments when he said, quote, "We came to the cinema more than the pitch because we came to see the chronicle of an announced death. And that's what happened." Still, at least he finally gave Messi some credit for being a game changer, which he hasn't always willingly done. Number 17. Argentina's underwhelming production line. One of the bigger concerns for Argentina, whether Messi stays or goes, is whether the squad can improve. Their immediate future prospects would likely be something Messi would consider if he were to stick around or cease to torture himself with national duty. Number 18. Playing at a stroll. Maybe it was that his teammates couldn't find him, but a fair amount of criticism was levelled at Messi for spending an unusual amount of time walking. Well, it was an unusual amount for any other player, but Messi has been criticised throughout his career for walking off the ball. Number 19. What's next? The future is unknown for Messi and his national side, a fact that was addressed by the Argentine paper Uno in their cover story on the Albiceleste's exit. Number 20. Another revenge tour, perhaps? Either way, if he retires or not, La Liga should watch out next year. After the last time he was knocked out of the World Cup, Messi went on an absolute domestic and European tear. He'll be even more motivated this time around after such a poor performance, but he'll have Felipe Coutinho, who looks like one of the world's best players, by his side for a full season, and his Barca side almost went unbeaten for an entire season already last year. Yeesh. Will we see a comeback next year? And is this Messi's final appearance at the World Cup? Let us know what you think the future holds for the Messiah in the comments below, and tell us what other videos you want to see. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them if we make them, and give this one a like so we know what you thought. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lloyd Mallison, and we'll see you soon.